What's up everyone?
It's Dani.
And Nick.
Today's video is going to be a little bit different than we usually do. It's all about planning a destination wedding. We are currently planning our own destination wedding, so this video is all about the tips and tricks that we've learned from our experience and what we're deciding to do. If you're deciding on planning your own destination wedding, or if you're already in the process of it, we hope that this video will help you out.
Now let's get into it.
The most important part about planning a destination wedding is the destination itself. Obviously, picking your location. Now, your wedding is about what you want. It's your big day, so pick a location that you really want to go to, and then base that off of your guest list and how many people you expect to attend your wedding. If you want a lot of friends and family to come, then it is more helpful for you to pick a location that is easily accessible and not too expensive, such as Mexico. It's usually pretty easy to get there and not too expensive. And then if you want a smaller wedding, you have a lot more options. If just some close family members are coming, you could pick a more secluded place and maybe not as easily accessible because only you and your parents might be going. It really depends what you want and what you're gonna make of it, and also how much your friends and family are willing to spend.
With that being said, let's talk a little bit more about the guest list. As with any wedding, the guest list is extremely important and one of the hardest parts that, at least that we've found, about planning a wedding. With the destination wedding, you have to keep in mind that just from the get-go, attendance is going to be significantly smaller because people have to get on a plane and go to the destination. You can't be offended when people don't come to your wedding because not everybody has it in their budgets, or they might not be able to get off work or have the time to be able to come. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about the guest list.
So with those two important things out of the way, let's get into more of the details about once you arrive at your destination. So number one is transportation. Now, your guests should be responsible for getting to the destination unless you have a lot of money, which we don't have. So our guests understand that they need to buy their flights to get there, but it is very important that you are mindful of transportation once your guests arrive to the destination, such as getting from the airport to the hotel. Don't leave them stranded. They need to at least know how they can get there, some directions, some type of transportation. And then also, if your venue is not at your hotel, you have to keep in mind about transportation, whether you are going to be providing a shuttle bus or just providing information about taxis in the area. Don't leave them stranded, especially if they're drinking at your wedding. You don't want anyone getting lost or driving while they're drinking. It's so important, at least for the wedding day, that they have transportation if you are not getting married at the hotel that you're staying at. And then any activities throughout the week or however long you're staying at your destination, you might not be doing things all in walking distance. If you're going to be leaving the area at all, you need to think about how everyone is getting there. Don't just focus on you and your fiance or your parents. You need to focus on everyone that's attending, because it is not fair to those guests to arrive and not know how to get somewhere.
So now let's talk about hotels. When you're planning a destination wedding, the easiest thing to do is to have everybody stay at the same hotel. The best way to do this is to call the hotel ahead of time and see if you can get a room block for you and all your guests. That way, when you send out your invitations, you can let your guests know where you plan for everybody to stay. An all-inclusive hotel is a really good option. That way, your guests don't have to worry about where they're gonna be eating, and they just don't have to worry about paying for each additional thing. It's all included because it's an all-inclusive. Also, hotels that have activities is a really big plus. That way your guests can be entertained for the time that they're there, so you're not having to entertain them the entire time.
The most important thing about a wedding is actually getting married. So when you're planning a destination wedding, it's extremely important to look into getting legally married. For us, it was doable to get married where we're going. They just required you to get there a couple days before, then you had to go to the courthouse in that place. It was a lot of work and didn't quite make sense to us to do that. So we're actually going to get legally married before. We're just going to sign the papers at the courthouse and make it super small and simple. But make sure that you know what you're doing. If you're going to be living in the United States and you're leaving the United States or wherever your home country is, make sure you find out what the legal issues are, because it might make sense to do things a little backwards. Our last important thing that we've learned while planning our destination wedding so far is getting things to the destination. So what I'm talking about is decorations. If you want specific decorations, try to find a venue that will help you out. Maybe already has decorations that you can use, but if you need to get your own things there, think about maybe shipping boxes there or planning room in your suitcase to get what you want there. It's not going to be as easy as if you were getting married down the road. Also, wedding favors are a big thing about weddings. You might not feel the need to do wedding favors at a destination wedding. However, we wanted to do a little something, so we're just doing little things. Make sure that you're not getting anything too big that will take up room in a suitcase, because your guests probably aren't thinking about getting a favor and aren't putting room in their suitcase on their way there to make sure that they can get things back. So just think about something small that might be meaningful and make the guests happy as they're exiting your wedding. Last but not least, the most important part is your wedding dress.
And the suit.
That too. How are you going to get your garments to your destination without destroying them? So what I found while looking into how I'm getting my wedding dress there, I did not pick a destination wedding dress. It is the opposite of what most people pack, so it's very difficult. What I've found so far is the most crazy thing: people will buy a seat on the plane for their dress.
Not us.
I'm not gonna do that. It seems a little ridiculous, but it does make sense, because then you don't have to fold it up. You can just lay it on the seat, which would be really nice. However, if you're on a budget and can't spend $600 or whatever dollars it is on your wedding dress to get it there, think about calling the airline beforehand and seeing if there's a closet in your airplane. That's what we're doing. There are closets on Delta, so we are very lucky in that. You could also try to lay it on top of everyone's luggage on the overhead bin, or you can fold it up and put it in your suitcase. Last resort, you could ship it there. However, you get the factor that you could lose your wedding dress or it might not get there on time, so that is the most risky. However, I did read a lot of people do that and had success with that as well. If you're going to get your dress in a box or a bag or whatever it may be, it may get wrinkly along the way, and it probably will. So make sure that you're packing a steamer or getting a venue that has a steamer or a press or somewhere that you can fix your dress before the big day. You don't want to have a bunch of wrinkles in your pictures or as you walk down the aisle. So just make sure you keep that in mind, because that's super important as well.
So that's all we have for you guys today on planning a destination wedding. If you would like to see a video about our destination wedding and more specifics on that, let us know in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like this video and give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
I wanna